He who controls your plate controls your fate. When you can't decide what you eat, are you truly free? If your food comes from thousands of miles away, who really holds the power? It's not the president or the king. It's the one who owns the ships, the warehouses, the supply chain. This is the silent crisis across Africa, a continent rich in resources, yet dependent on imported food. Africa spends billions importing staples that could be grown at home, making the system fragile and vulnerable to global shocks. The real power lies with international corporations and foreign governments who control seeds, fertilizers, and prices. This isn't a conspiracy, it's business. But when business controls food, it becomes a matter of justice. Trade deals favor imports, land is bought up by outsiders, and local farmers are pushed aside. Foreign branding makes imported food seem superior, while traditional crops are neglected. The fate of a continent is being decided in boardrooms far away. When a nation can't feed itself, its destiny is not its own, and that is a fate no one should accept. Africa holds 60% of the world's uncultivated arable land, a vast, untapped resource. Yet people line up for imported food while fertile land sits idle or is used for export crops. Why? Much of this land is leased or sold to foreign corporations who grow food for export, not for Africans. This modern land grab displaces communities and funnels wealth out of the continent. Local farmers lose their land or become low-wage workers on what was once theirs. Africa's land feeds the world, but not always its own people. Relying on imports makes countries vulnerable to global price swings and supply disruptions. A drought in Asia or a policy change in Europe can mean hunger in Lagos or Nairobi. This dependence undermines security and sovereignty. The land and potential are there, but the control is not. Until that changes, the cycle continues. For centuries, African farmers used sustainable methods, intercropping, crop rotation, agroforestry, perfectly adapted to their land. These traditions built resilience and fed communities for generations. But now, industrial agriculture, monocultures, chemicals, imported seeds, has been pushed onto Africa. Farmers are pressured to grow cash crops for export, buying expensive inputs from foreign companies. The new chains are contracts and patents, not iron. Local food systems are replaced by fragile, centralized ones controlled from abroad. Nutritious indigenous crops are neglected for global commodities. The old ways offered freedom, the new chains offer dependence. Despite these challenges, hope is rising, driven by Africa's youth. Young entrepreneurs are blending traditional wisdom with modern tech, transforming agriculture. Urban farming is booming. Hydroponics, rooftop gardens, and digital platforms connect farmers to markets. Indigenous crops are making a comeback, and farming is becoming a source of pride and profit. But water remains a critical obstacle. Many communities rely on foreign-owned water systems, creating new dependencies. Large-scale water projects are neglected or mismanaged. Without water, even the best ideas can't grow. Water sovereignty is as vital as food sovereignty. The struggle for control continues. The path forward is clear. Africa must reclaim control over its food and water. This isn't isolationism, it's true independence. Food sovereignty means supporting local farmers, investing in African-led solutions, and prioritizing local markets. Governments must protect land and water, invest in infrastructure, and empower producers. Civil society must hold leaders accountable, and individuals must support local food. Water must be managed by communities, not sold for profit. Food and water struggles are intertwined. Both must be addressed. Africa must feed itself to free itself. True liberation is breaking economic dependence and ensuring every child has access to local food and clean water. This is the challenge and the opportunity for Africa's youth. The final harvest will not just be food, it will be freedom,